Hello and welcome. I'm Bob McClure, and this is the story of the Clown Prince of Pop, also known as Freddie of Freddie and the Dreamers. This then is his story, told in his words.
I am a singer with a 60s band, playing the music I love.
Hi there, my name is Freddie Garrity. I was born the 14th of November 1936 in Manchester. It happens to be the same date as Prince Charles, although he does look a little bit older. Fed up now. I went to U3 secondary school, but it wasn't very eventful. Actually, I wasn't a very good boy when I was at school because I was taken to court for nicking chocolate penguins. 4 chocolate penguins, and they took me to court, but I'm here as a free man. Thou shalt not steal, don't take my baby from me. She was sent from up above, she's my only love. Thou shalt not steal, it's written in the good book. Now you're a grown man, surely you understand. Tonight she's dressed in gold, like all angels are. See that ribbon in her hair, it's for my love that lingers there. Thou shalt not steal, and now you know she's mine, sir. So just let her be, she belongs to me. Thou shalt not steal, and now you know she's mine, sir. So just let her be, she belongs to me. I must say, when I was at school, I didn't really dislike schoolwork, but the one thing I did love more than anything else was the sports side. I used to play for the school team, and in later years I had a trial with Burnley Football Club, and also I trained with Manchester City and with Manchester United.
I am a singer with a 60s band, playing the music I love.
My first introduction into show business was in 1956, I think it was, in any case, and I went in for a talent contest at the Locarno Ballroom in Sale, Manchester. I sang an Al Jolson song, April Showers, and I actually won the contest. The prize was an electric razor, and at that time I hardly shaved. I then sort of went on to bigger things. I formed a skiffle group. I was inspired by Lonnie Donegan. I formed a skiffle group called the Red Sox, and we were playing in the Manchester area for a number of years. We went in for the North West Skiffle Championships, again at Sale Locarno, and we came second, first or second. It's a long time ago, I'm trying to remember. But we built up quite a good name, not mainly from the music side of view, but we enjoyed fooling around on stage and jumping around and bouncing about and generally making idiots of ourselves. But I think people enjoyed our act because we were enjoying ourselves, and it came across the floodlights. I must point out that the Red Sox Skiffle Group, none of the members of that particular band became Freddie and the Dreamers. It was just a band that I'd formed within the area of where I lived, and I was courting a girl called Josie Tideswell. But having said all that, you know, the band only lasted about 3 years. I think at the end of the day, Josie got really cheesed off with travelling around in a Morris 8 with a tea-chest bass on the back, girlfriends in tow, a washboard which was on two big stands, a guitar, banjo, and it was a bit of an effort. And the funny thing was, I sold my guitar and my amplifier to a lad called Roy Crutzen. And Roy just lived round the corner from me, and he just formed a skiffle group called the Kingfishers. And I was coming home one night from the pictures with Josie, and I said, "Oh, Roy, how's things going?" He said, "Oh, fine." He said, "Why don't you pop in and have a look at the group and see what you think?" So I said, "Oh, yeah, I will." And Josie said, "Yeah, you do," meaning don't, but I did. So I went round on the Friday, and they were rehearsing there, and they were arguing like mad. They were really arguing about this, that, and the other. So I gave them the bit of my expertise, of Mike, because of course I'd come second in the Northwest Skiffle Championships. So I said, "This is a song you should do." Right, I said, "What's your best song?" And they said, "That one." So I was asked to go the following week. So I took a tape recorder, and I was getting back into this all, you see. I never took any notice of Josie in the end. So I'm going every week, I'm doing this, Then they said, "Look, why don't you be our leader?" So I said, "Well, I think we need to change the name of the group." So I said, "Let's give it a thought," you see. Well, at that particular time, I was selling brushes in the area where I lived. And a lady says to me, she said, she knew that we were looking for a name for the group. She said to me, "Have you found a name for the group yet?" So I says, "No, we're still looking." "Oh," she says, "you're a right lot of dreamers." So I thought, that sounds quite good, that, the Dreamers. So I went across the road to where we were rehearsing that evening. I said, "Look, how about calling it the Dreamers?" "Well, that sounds all right. We're looking at alligators and this, that and the other, But the Dreamers, yeah, OK, we'll call it the Dreamers." So that's how the Dreamers became a name, that was how it started. And of course, it was a few weeks later that it became Freddie and the Dreamers. It wasn't really what the boys wanted, because they wanted it just to stay as the Dreamers. But the fact that I was the leader and I was putting so much effort into it, I didn't think it was untoward not to be called Freddie and the Dreamers. But the boys wouldn't have that, really. So in the end, I said, "Right, you can stick the bloody group." And I said, and I walked out, and that was it. And 2 weeks later, Bernie Dwyer, who was the drummer, he came round to me and said, "Look," he said, "we'll call it Freddie and the Dreamers, if we can all get back together." So I said, "Well, I don't want it like that." He said, "I want it because you all want it, At the end of the day, I'm a very sensitive person. And I thought, if you want that, I want it, but I only want to do it if you want it," sort of thing. So it became Freddie and the Dreamers, and I always remember the first night. And I said, we were performing, the boys said, "We'll go on stage, we'll play one song, and we'll announce you on." So they went on stage, they did one song, they said, "Ladies and gentlemen, our leader, Freddie." I felt a right prat, honestly. I thought, "Oh, I can't, that's daft, that is." And I said, "I don't want it like that. Don't start announcing it like that, ever. It's called Freddie and the Dreamers. Announce it as Freddie and the Dreamers, and I'll come right at the beginning." So that was it.
There you go, and baby, here am I. Well, you left me here so I could sit and cry. Well, golly gee, what have you done to me? Well, I guess it doesn't matter anymore. Do you remember, baby, last September, how you held me tight each and every night? Well, whoops-a-daisy, how you drove me crazy. Well, I guess it doesn't matter anymore. There's no use in me crying. I've done everything and now I'm sick of trying. Thrown away my nights, wasted all my days over you. You go your way and I'll go mine. Now I'm forever till the end of time. I'll find somebody new and baby, we'll say we're through, and you won't matter anymore. There's no use chasing me a crying. I've done everything and now I'm sick of trying. Thrown away my nights and wasted all my days over you. You go your way and I'll go mine. Now I'm forever till the end of time. I'll find somebody new and baby, we'll say we're through. And you won't matter anymore. You won't matter anymore. You won't matter anymore.
The band members were Pete Birrell on bass guitar, Derek Quinn on lead guitar, Roy Cruson on rhythm guitar, and Bernie Dwyer on drums. We went from strength to strength, making a name for ourselves with comedy, working the various clubs and dance halls, and we used to do Mickey take on Cliff Richards and the Shadows. We used to do a song called Bachelor Boy, and we used to kick our legs out and funny directions and do these little runs and that. And we started to make a name for ourselves, not so much in the Manchester area, but in Sheffield. In Manchester, we were earning £5 a night between the five of us. But when we went to Sheffield, God, we were on big money there. We were on £12. Heady days, you know. So on £12 a night in Sheffield, so, you know, it was pretty good. And so much so, we got invited to perform in Blackpool, and it was the top 6 acts in the Northwest, and we were included. And we just did the one song. We did Bachelor Boy, and that was the start of the comedy routines meaning something.
Over you, well I do love you, but you only make me blue, and you say goodbye, leaving me to cry. Over you, well I think it's wise, and in time you'll realize I'm the one for you, though I feel so blue. Over you, even if I have to wait a year. If you change your mind, you find me waiting here. Perhaps I'm wrong, but I feel it won't be long to the time you're mine, and I won't be crying. Over you, over you. Over you, even if I have to wait a year. If you change your mind, you find me waiting here. Perhaps I'm wrong, but I feel it won't be long to the time you're mine, and I won't be crying. Over you, over you, over you, over you, over you, over you.
In 1961, we met Danny Patesh of Kennedy Street Enterprises. Danny, at this moment, is a very, very big agent. 3 years ago, he was Promoter of the Year, and we've been together, 30 or 40 years now together. And working with Danny, it meant that when people came to Manchester, like, for instance, Mike Sarn or Ricky Valens, we were given the opportunity of backing these people. And we used to play at a place called the Three Coins on Fountain Street. And I don't know if you remember, but Mike Sarn had this hit record called Come Outside, and it had Wendy, who was on EastEnders, who was his girlfriend sort of thing. It was this little girl who used to do the answering phrase. Of course, she wasn't available, so I put a wig on and I played the girl. We also worked at the Cavern many, many times. And we used to play on a Thursday night there, and it was called, I might be wrong here, but I think it was called the Swinging Blue Jeans Guest Night. And I remember the Cavern very plainly, simply because you go in the cavern and you can smell disinfectant. That's the first thing. They must have the cleanest rats going, you know. And you could smell disinfectant, and all the walls were white, you know, and with this little stage in the corner, if you can call it a stage. I wrote a song called Take Me Back, and the middle part of the song is, there has never been a better sound, born within a cavern underground, where the smell of disinfectant filled the air, and I know my generation would want to be back there. Take me back, take me back, take me back to the 60s.
Take me back to the 60s, back to the 60s, back to the 60s. I like rhythm and blues, I like soul, but I know my basic roots are 60s rock and roll. And I go back to yesterday, music was such fun, when Beatles songs were sing-alongs, sung by everyone. Now I hear the people say, take me back to yesterday, 60s music paved the way, play them songs for me, okay, take me back, take me back, take me back, take me back. I know what it's all about, I was there myself, and the songs we played will never fade or be left upon some shelf. Even now those songs live on, it makes me feel so good to know that 60s music is what the people love. Jerry the Searchers, Billy J, maybe names of yesterday, still I hear the people say, play their songs for me, okay, take me back, take me back, take me back, take me back. There has never been a better sound, born within a cavern underground, where the smell of disinfectant filled the air. And I know my generation would wanna be back there. So take me back, take me back. Take me back, the people say. Take me back to yesterday. 60s music paved the way. Play them songs for me. Okay, take me back. 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 Take me back to the 60s. 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 Take me back to the 60s.
I know in the early days, I didn't think my voice was good enough to make a record. And we went down to London. While we were down in London, we met a guy called Les Conn, who was a friend of Danny Batesh, our agent. And Les also had a friend called John Barry of the John Barry 7. Now, John Barry used to do all the backing music to Adam Faith. And Les asked him if he could get us a test record with EMI Records. So he made a phone call to a guy called John Burgess. We arranged a date, we went over to EMI Records, and we recorded a song called If You Gotta Make a Fool of Somebody. And 2 weeks later, we re-recorded it. He put my song on the B-side, and the rest is history.
If you gotta make a fool of somebody, if you gotta make a fool of someone, dear, you really can't hurt me. worries about you. If you gotta make a fool of somebody, if you gotta make a fool of someone, dear, you really can hurt me. I'm the one that worries, always true. Daytime, nighttime, anytime at all, I'll rush to your side anytime you call. Just to be near you, you know, anywhere I'll go. How could you hurt me so? Oh, if you gotta make a fool of somebody, if you gotta make a fool of someone, dear, you really can hurt me. I'm the one that worries about you. Take it easy, baby, please don't hurt me. Take it easy, baby, please don't hurt me.
Now, the thing after that was we had to bring out another record. Well, I wrote a song called I'm Telling You Now in conjunction with Mitch Murray. And Mitch Murray had written Jerry and the Pacemakers songs, you know, How Do You Do What You Do to Me and I Like It. So we got together, we wrote this song and we recorded it. And we said, well, because of the visual impact we'd had on Thank You Lucky Stars, we needed to put a routine to I'm Telling You Now. Well, it so happened the song Bachelor Boy, which we performed on stage with this silly routine, taking the mickey out of the Shadows, we applied that routine to the song I'm Telling You Now. And next minute, it finishes at number 2 in the charts.
I'm telling you now, I'm telling you right away, I'll be staying for many a day, I'm in love with you now. I'm telling you now, I'll say what you wanna hear, I'll be telling you for many a year, I'm in love with you now. Do you think I'm fooling when I say I love you? I love you. Maybe you'll believe me when I'm finally through. I'm telling you now. I know it's been said before. Say you love me and I will be sure I'm in love with you now. I'm fooling when I say I love you. I love you. Maybe you'll believe me when I'm finally through. I'm telling you now. I know it's been said before. Say you love me and I will be sure I'm in love with you now. I'm in love with you now. Telling you now.
Then we brought You Were Made For Me out. Right, we've got to do another routine. So we did another routine. We kicked our legs in the opposite direction and I went down on one knee. There's the Al Jolson influence. Next minute, it finishes at number 2. Can't believe it. In fact, when they played it on Jukebox Jury, Cilla Black actually turned around and said, it doesn't sound like Freddie and the Dreamers. It sounds like Frida and the Dreamers because of my high voice. In any case, we've had 3 number 2 hit records.
You were made for me. Everybody tells me so. You were made for me. Don't pretend that you don't know. trees were made for little things that sing and fly, and the sun was made to burn so bright and light. The sky, pretty eyes were never made to cry, they were made to see. When I held you in my arms, I knew that you were made for me. You were made for me. Everybody tells me so. You were made for me. Don't pretend that you don't know. All the flowers in the fields were made to please the bees. For the fish, yes, someone made the rivers and the seas. Every hand was made to hold another tenderly. When I kissed you on your lips, I knew that you were made for me. You were made for me. Everybody tells me so. You were made for me. Don't pretend that you don't know. Da 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 da. You were made for me. Everybody tells me so. You were made for me. Don't pretend that you don't know. Every hand was made to hold another tenderly. When I kissed you on your lips, I knew that you were made, you were made, you were made for me.
All in all, we had 9 hit records. But there's one particular song which we recorded, just put on an album, and it became the most requested song in the act, and that song was called Short Shorts. I used to jump off stage with a pair of shorts, run round the ballroom with a feather duster up the girls' skirts and all that. Right. But there's one particular time we were paid in a dance hall at St Helens, Lancashire, where we performed the song Short Shorts. I jumped into the audience, and instead of chasing the girls started chasing me. All the band could see from the stage was me in the midst of a crowd of screaming girls. I've had a high voice ever since.
Who wears short shorts? We wear short shorts. Yeah. Who wears short shorts? We wear short shorts. Yeah. Who wears short shorts? We wear short shorts. Who's real crazy? Short shorts. We wear short shorts. Yeah. Who wears short shorts? We wear short shorts. Yeah. Who
With the success of If You Got to Make a Fool of Somebody, I know I'm going back a bit here. With writing the B-side, I received a cheque for about £2,000. Well, I'd been driving these old bangers around in prior to this, and I went out and I bought a new E-Type Jag, 3388 VU. I even remember the number plate. It's the first car I had. I had 4 miles of bonnet in front of me, you know. I was like a dog with 2 tails. Right. So in any case, I've got this car, right, and now we are stars. I'm a star. The problem was, I had this house, which only cost £600, and I had a car outside worth £1,800. And we were doing a tour with Roy Orbison. What a lovely man Roy was. And he came to my house in R.I.P 2 up, 2 down, outside toilet, right? He's got a farm with thousands of acres sort of thing, and he had his wife Claudette with him. And they came to the house, right, and we sat in the front room there having a salad. Having a salad, right, and then I drove Roy to Bolton. On the way to the gig, to the theatre, the police stopped me for speeding. And I said, I never looked at myself as being a star in them days. I really didn't, you know. It was just great fun, you know, and getting paid good money for enjoying myself. The police stopped me and they said, what do you think you do? I said, it's not me. I said, look, I've got Roy Orbison here. I said, he's got to get to the theatre. He said, because we're doing a show there. He said, I don't care who he is and I don't care who you are. Get your foot off that pedal. I said, I'm sorry, officer. He said, right, off you go. That's the way I looked at it, you see. And it wasn't until I got to the theatre and then I did the show and I closed the first half. And all these girls, screaming girls, said, Freddie, we want Freddie. And they were throwing teddy bears at me and all this business. And that's when I realised that really Freddie and the Dreamers had made it.
I understand just how you feel. Your love for me, why not reveal? It's over now, but it was grand. I understand. If you ever change your mind, come back to me, and you will find me waiting here at your command. I understand. Oh, I miss you so. Please believe me when I tell you that I can't stand to see you go, for I know if you ever change your mind, come back to me, and you will find me waiting here at your command. I understand just how you feel. Let bygones be bygones, for always remember, I love you, I love you, I love you.
Take a cup of kindness for the sake of old lang syne.
I understand.
I think one of the highlights of the early days, after having 3 hit records, we were invited to appear on Sunday night at the London Palladium, which was the top show on television at that time, hosted by Bruce Forsyth. And I always remember Bruce saying, he's here, and kick his legs up, and the girl go, ah, screaming out, he's here, you know. Right, in any case, we did this show, and we did a song called Send Me Some Loving, where we're jumping up in the air and leaping up and falling on the ground and all this business. Bernie's on the drums and Bernie's saying, Freddie, they're falling over. So I said, well, pick them up. So he picked two of them up and put them back to back. That was Derek Quinn and Roy Cruson. And Bernie turned around to me and said, I'm not picking him up, he's too big for me. So I have to pick Pete up, Big Pete Birrell. So as I'm picking him up, I fall down the floor, and the next minute I whacked him in the ghoulies with my head. Right? So in any case, he makes out this sort of stifled scream, right? And we continue the song to the end where the two boys were back to back, gradually slid on the floor of the stage. So that went an absolute storm because it was so visual. I mean, they cut to a lady in the audience and she's crying with laughter. She's wiping her eyes. That's how funny it was. And I wanted to do a gag on the stage, and I was told I wasn't allowed to do it. And the gag is so simple, and nowadays you wouldn't even think it's a gag. And what happened, Pete made reference that he needed to go to the toilet, and he's got his leg crossed. Well, he would have them crossed if you'd been hit there, wouldn't you? Right, so next minute he said he's going off to the toilet. I said, you'll have to excuse Pete, he's only gone for a wee while, he'll be back in a couple of shakes. And that got a laugh. Nowadays it doesn't mean anything, you see. But that I thought, I'm going to do that gag. In any case, that night, we're back in the hotel, and we got a phone call from Val Parnell saying, great show, enjoyed the show, thought it was really good television. And I think that then boosted Freddie and the Dreamers' image up tenfold, I would have thought.
Whoa, I love you, baby. I love you so. I need you, honey. I'll never let you go, 'cause you're the girl in my life. You're the one I adore. And I love you. As I walk by the seaside, as I walk through the grass, I see little bluebirds making love while I pass. Bees are a-humming, there's a singing everywhere. Everyone's in love. Whoa, I love you, baby. I love you so. I need you, honey. I'll never let you go, 'cause you're the girl in my life. You're the one I adore. And I love you. As I walk by the schoolyard, as I walk by the gate, I hear the weeping willow where we kissed on every day. And carved in the bark you'll find an arrow and a heart, and underneath it says, whoa, I love you, baby. I love you so. I need you, honey. I'll never let you go, 'cause you're the girl in my life. You're the one I adore. And I love you. And I love you. And I love you.
Despite the success we had in England, we never really made it in America. Not when initially. And it must have been 1965, 2 years later, having had hit records in England, that Brian Epstein had a show in America featuring the Beatles, and he turned round to the audience on TV and said, there's a group in England called Freddie and the Dreamers, they're a very funny group. So he played this clip of us singing the song I'm Telling You Now and doing this little routine. So much so, we got invited across to America, and we appeared on Hullabaloo, which was hosted by Trini Lopez. Trini says to me, this dance, what's it called? And I thought, well, I don't know. It's not a dance, it's just a routine. So I said, oh, it's the Freddie, which only points out that the visual aspect of the band far outweighed the musical ability and far outweighed the strength of the record. Because all of a sudden there's this image, this goon, this little fella, like a Buddy Holly lookalike, you know, leaping around like a demented cat. And it captured the people's imagination.
Hear the happy feet dancing to the beat of the Freddie.
As I've already mentioned, 1965 was a great year for Freddie and the Dreamers. We appeared in pantomime at Manchester Palace that particular year. The bill was Freddie and the Dreamers, Des O'Connor, Jack Douglas, Billy Dainty, the Barry Sisters. What a great cast that was, you know. That was following our successful summer season, of course, at Blackpool with Tommy Cooper and the rest of them. I'll always remember the last night. Maybe I shouldn't remember it, but I do remember it because I upset one or two people. I always thought that on last nights in Panto, remember I'm relatively a novice at this particular game, I always thought you had to do last night gags. So the pantomime was Aladdin, and I played Wishy Washy, and Des was Aladdin. And the boys were villagers, but you had Chinese policemen and what have you, and, you know, I think Billy Dainty was Dame. But on the last night, the show opened up with a smell of stink bombs on the stage, which I thought was rather funny, but it cleared the first 3 rows of the theatre. This was followed by the Chinese policeman jumping into this large bath which I'd put copious amounts of fairy liquid in, bubbles going everywhere. I put itching powder in Des O'Connor's costume and the girl's costume. I nailed the shoes down on the floor, so they had a quick change, they couldn't do it. I thought it was great fun. Did I upset some people? Jack Douglas wouldn't speak to me at the end. Nobody had talked to me. And I thought, I'm so sorry afterwards. I mean, at the end, after with it being the last night, I had to make the last night speech. And Jack Douglas behind me going, where? And doing silly things behind me and upstaging me. In other words, teaching me a lesson, which he was quite right about. That was my forte. I loved doing pantomime more than anything else. I think I was accepted by the children. I think I was one of them. It was nice to get away from just singing. It's nice to do the acting bit. Comedy, I loved doing comedy. I mean, I played Wishy Washy, I played Simple Simon, I played Buttons, I played Idle Jack, I played all the comedy parts. And but that was the sort of person I was, you know, just daft.
There's a little truth in every lie you tell me, a little good in all the bad you do. Instead of running away, listen when I say, all I want is just a little you. I've been wanting you to say the words I love you. A little love would make my dreams come true. Instead of running away, listen when I say, all I want is just a little you. There's nothing in this world I couldn't do if you would only say you love me true. All I want is a little you, through the day and through the night time too. Just a little you. There's a little truth in every lie you tell me, a little good in all the bad you do. Instead of running away, listen when I say, all I want is just a little you. All I want is just a little you.
People ask me how well I knew the Beatles. Well, in 1965 we did the Beatles Christmas show, and I opened the show swinging on a rope, wearing a tutu, which is my thing. And it was a very successful show. You couldn't hear a thing because of the screaming girls. And in the evenings we used to go to a place called the Ad Lib Club. And a few years later, I was in Blandford Forum, and I must tell you, I love caravanning. And I'd gone out shopping with my wife, and I came back and there was a note pinned to the door. And it said, "Dear Freddie and family, long time no see. Sorry to have missed you. Enjoy the rest of your holidays. Love, Cynthia Lennon." And underneath it said, "Remember the Ad-Lib Club." So Cynthia, who had a caravan apparently, had popped round, knew I was in the area, popped round to say hello. The following day she came round again with a boyfriend, and we had coffee, and she was talking about Julian Lennon in Monte Carlo. But these are little incidents that happen. You never know where you are, you never know who you're going to meet. I thought so much of John and the band that when he died it really touched me, so much so I wrote this song. I hope you like it.
Life was so short, life was so good. You gave us your thoughts with music and love. Peace was your theme, a beautiful dream, John Lennon. One minute you're here, next minute you're gone. And through our tears we ask, what's going on? The peace you relay was sadly betrayed, John Lennon. You did your own thing, you gave peace a chance, and no one can take that away. In a world of lost dreams, you imagined the scenes, and you tried to show us the way. Heroes may come, heroes may go, but our generation will always bestow love for a man, a peace-loving man, John Lennon, John Lennon. Sometimes we'll cry because it's absurd to lose such a man who did give a damn, John Lennon. Life was so short, life was so good. You gave and you taught the meaning of love. It's not just a phase, we remember the days of John Lennon.
I've really had a good life, and just recently I flew to New York, and from New York we drove to Connecticut to a place called Foxwood Resort, a fabulous place, and I was doing a television show there, and it was a 60s weekend. It involved Jerry and the Pacemakers, the Trogs, Peter Noon, Billy J. Kramer, and all these big 60s stars. I had to get back to England on an 11:30 flight on the night I was actually performing, and I went on stage at 8 o'clock. Did these 3 songs. I came off stage absolutely gasping and out of breath because I sang one song called Do the Freddie. Now, I hadn't sung this song for 35, 40 years because it was never a hit in England, but the American public wanted me to do that, so we rehearsed it and put it in the acts. So I've done 3 songs: You Were Made for Me, I'm Telling You Now, and Do the Freddie, which are very energetic. We dashed to the airport in one of these long stretch limousines, and we should have had VIP check-in straight onto the plane. We arrived at the airport, no one there to meet us, no one to take us off. And I was working in Nottingham the following day, so to say I was stressed out was an understatement. I absolutely went wild because I've never let anyone down. We were at the airport all night, and the following morning we managed to get a standby on an 8:30 flight. About 3 hours into the flight, I had cramp in my fingers and my legs, and I was told I went grey and I went ice cold. So it was a mild heart attack, so I was told. Fortunately, there was a surgeon, heart surgeon on the flight, and he monitored my progress. And at one stage, he was talking about pulling into Shannon Airport. But they got me to Heathrow. I was picked up by the paramedics. I spent 3 days in hospital, and I've just got to take it easy. But just goes to show, there's me, as fit as a fiddle, always thinking I was fit, and things like this happen. It's nice to be here. There you are. I can be serious.
I am a singer with a 60s band, playing the music I love. I travel the country on one-night stands, doing what I think I should. I am a singer with a 60s band, playing songs of yesterday. And I want to tell the people who don't understand, 60s music's here to stay.